Dear students in grade 9, good morning and welcome to the English seminar for today. In our session today, we are going to discuss unit number 7. Of course, we have just 1 hour, means 60 minutes, to cover as much as possible of the unit. So, we are going to talk about reading, grammar, and pronunciation. And if we have enough time, we might talk about writing, how to write a composition in the final exam. Actually, before we start, let me introduce and welcome my dear colleagues here in the studio. Mr. Mustafa Salami, an English supervisor from Hama Directorate. Good morning, my dear colleague.
Good morning.
Mr. Mazin Abdul Karim, an English teacher from Damascus Countryside Directorate. Good morning, Mr. Mazin.
Good morning.
And welcome to our seminar in this fine day.
Yes.
Very nice indeed. You know, my dear colleagues, we are going to tackle or to discuss unit number 7.
Yeah.
In this unit, we have some skills, as usual, of course. So, immediately now, we are going to start with the reading skill. Because we have 2 texts in both books. Yeah. We have a text in the student's book, and we have another one in the activity or workbook. So we will try to cover all of them actually. Now, Mr. Mustafa, you know, the title of Unit 7 is Critical Moments. Critical Moments. Can you please explain the meaning of critical moments? What do we mean by critical moments and why we call it so? Yes, please.
Okay, my pleasure. But first, now I'd like to thank you, Mr. Karim, because
you're welcome.
Of course, for giving me a chance.
My pleasure to be with us.
Participate in this session.
Thank you, Mr. Mustafa.
Okay, the title of Unit 7, Critical Moments. The word critical means very dangerous.
Yes.
Very, we can say, serious.
Yes.
Or we can say extremely serious. Extremely dangerous.
Yes.
Okay?
So critical means dangerous.
Means dangerous.
Dangerous.
Yes.
So dangerous
serious
moments. Yes.
And moments, you know, are a very short period of time.
Yes.
Yes.
Moments.
Yes.
Exactly.
Moment.
Yes.
Moment is a very, of course, as a singular.
Of course, moment. Yes.
Now it means a very short period of time. Yes.
That's right. Thank you so much. Here we have the title of the text.
Reading
the
text.
title of the text is related to the title of the whole unit. Here the title is No One Had Believed It Was Possible.
Yes, of course.
Oh my God. So what do we mean by that? Here, no one had believed it was possible.
Yes.
So would you please tell us about this title, please?
Yes, my pleasure. No one had believed it was possible, of course, means that no one had believed that the Titanic ship would hit the iceberg and sink in the Atlantic Ocean.
So here, Mr. Mustafa, we are talking about something happened in the past, which is about the Titanic
ship.
Titanic ship, and I think that most of our students and colleagues, you know, have watched this film
about the Titanic.
About the Titanic. So Titanic is very famous. Is very well known around the world. Very nice indeed. So here we are talking about the Titanic ship, which sank in the ocean or in the Atlantic Ocean. Very nice. Thank you, Mr. Mustafa. Mr. Mazin, Titanic. What happened to Titanic in 1912? We know that in 1912, something very, very disastrous or, you know, a tragedy happened in 1912. what happened to Titanic?
Yes, the ship Titanic
Yes.
hit an iceberg, and then it started to go down and down.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
sank into the ocean.
Yes. So the Titanic ship hit an
Iceberg.
iceberg. We know ice.
Yes.
Here we have a compound word, or
Iceberg.
iceberg. So it consists of two parts. We have ice and berg.
Berg.
So ice, we know ice. Then berg, it is, you know,
A mass.
of ice. Iceberg is a mass, a large mass
we can see a very
of
large
ice, okay, floating
In the sea.
on the water. Very nice. So the Titanic ship hit an iceberg on its first trip across the Atlantic. Very nice.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Mustafa, would you please tell us what was Titanic, or what was Titanic like?
Yes. The Titanic ship was the largest ship that had ever traveled on the sea. Yes.
Okay, so it
The,
was
the largest ship.
The largest
Yes,
ship
the largest.
that had ever
traveled
traveled on the sea. Of course, at that time,
it
in
was the largest.
1912, not now.
Not now, yes.
Now we have
We have
maybe
many,
larger
many.
or bigger than
Yes.
Titanic, but
Yeah.
we are talking about 1912.
12.
So in 1912, it was
the largest.
the largest ship
Ship.
that had ever traveled on,
On the sea.
the sea. Thank you very much. Mr. Mazen, you know that on the board of ships or shipboard, we usually or we always have lifeboats. Were there enough lifeboats on the board of Titanic at that time?
No.
No.
No, there weren't.
There weren't.
No.
Yes.
There were only lifeboats for only 1,178 people.
So it carried lifeboats for only
1,178 people.
Or we say 1,178 people.
Yes.
Very nice. Mr. Mustafa, how many people died at the tragedy or at that tragedy?
Okay. 1,502 people died in the accident or in the tragedy.
So 1,502
502 people
or
died.
1,502 people died.
Yes, died, or we can say lost
Lost
their lives.
in
Yes, in that
accident.
tragedy.
Very nice. Mr. Mazen, you know that 1,502 lost their lives. But the question now, how many people was it carrying?
Yes, at that time the
Yes.
Titanic ship was carrying 2,207 people.
2,207
people.
So out of 2,207, we say that 1,502 died in this accident.
yeah.
How many people survived? So if we now have, you know, this mathematical
Yes, of course,
calculation, how many people survived?
Now, arithmetically
Yes.
speaking, if we let's say abstract.
If we take, yes, abstract. Okay,
Abstract.
Yes.
Or minus.
Abstract, or no, not minus, abstract.
Yes.
If we abstract, subtract, I think. okay?
Subtract.
Subtract.
The people who died.
Of course, number 2,207.
And 7.
Okay, no. If we subtract, no. This now number,
yes.
1,502, okay?
Yes.
From 2,207,
And 7.
okay, we get
Yes.
705.
And 5. So
Yes.
those who survived,
Who survived?
were 705 people
Yes.
only. Very nice. Thank you. Now, Mr. Mazin,
Yes.
why didn't, you know, why didn't they prepare for the tragedy?
So at that time,
Yes.
people, because, you know, they didn't prepare for the accident, because nobody had believed that it could sink. Nobody believed that the Titanic ship would sink in the
Yes,
ocean.
Yes, because a lot of people, or they thought that it was a miracle.
Yes.
You know, it is unsinkable.
Yes.
Means it is impossible
To sink.
sink in the
sink.
water.
Because
so
of-
because
yes.
of that,
Yes.
they did not prepare for such a disaster or for such an accident.
Yes.
Very nice. Thank you. You know, Mr. Mustafa, a lot, of course, according to the text,
Yeah.
a lot of people on the board on this ship were called, or a lot of the survivors or survivors
Yeah.
were cold, felt cold, very cold.
Yeah, of course.
Why?
Of course, because some of them had been in the icy water for hours.
Yes.
And many of them had never dressed warmly.
Yes. So we have actually two reasons.
Two reasons, yeah.
The first one,
Some of
that
them-
some of them
some-
had been in the icy water
for hours.
for hours.
Of course, before they were saved.
Yes, before they were
they're
saved.
saved.
Good. And the second one,
Yes, many
some
of them, many of them
yes,
hadn't dressed,
dressed well, warmly, well, means they did not have enough warm clothes.
Yes.
Very nice. Thank you. Actually, this is about Titanic, my dear students, dear colleagues, about, you know, the text in general. So we talked about, you know, the number of people who died, the number of people who survived, and the number of people which was the ship carrying on its board. Now, after that, Mr. Mustafa, we have, you know, here we have a practice, we have an exercise, you know, which is to match the first part of a sentence to the second part of the sentence to
match.
complete here.
Yeah.
Okay, to match. Here we have match column A with column B.
Yeah.
Number one,
Yes.
would you please start? Yes,
Yes,
please.
of course. Number one, the Titanic was carrying 2,002
Yes,
207 people, but
but
it had taken lifeboats for only 1,178 people.
so here we can say that the number of lifeboats
Yes.
was not
Enough.
enough for all the people
Yeah.
on the board.
Yes, of course.
Very nice. So the Titanic was carrying 2,207 people, but it had taken lifeboats for only 1,178 people only.
Yes.
Very nice. Mr. Mazin, number two.
Many passengers had not dressed well for number A.
Yeah.
They didn't believe that they were in danger.
So many passengers had not dressed warmly. For means here because.
Yes.
Or as. Okay, as or because. As they didn't believe, or because they didn't believe that they were in danger. Very nice. Number three, Mr. Mustafa.
Yes, number three, the ship had received 6 warnings.
Yes.
When
So how many warnings did the ship receive?
6 warnings.
6 warnings.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, when it struck the iceberg,
When it struck the
iceberg.
iceberg.
when it hit the
Yes.
iceberg,
So when the ship hit the iceberg,
yes,
it had already received
Six.
six
Warnings.
warnings.
Very nice. Mr. Mazin, the last one?
It had not changed its direction or its speed after 6 warnings. So it means after 6 warnings,
Yes.
the Titanic ship, went on the same direction, on the
Yes.
same speed,
Exactly.
did not change anything.
Exactly.
But no one knows, no one maybe still.
They did not react
Yes.
to the warnings,
Yes.
right? So it had not changed its direction, or what, or its speed after 6
Warnings.
warnings. Very nice.
Okay.
Okay, we come to another activity, which is about the key words, actually. The most important words in this text are here. Also, we are going to match, Mr. Mustafa, the word with its meaning, with its definition. So we have words here on the right, we have the definitions on the left, on the right, on the left we have the words, on the right we have the definitions. So we start with iceberg. Yes, please.
Iceberg, of course, means a large mass of ice floating in the sea.
Yes.
Or we can say a very large.
Very
piece.
large or a large mass.
Piece of-
Very nice, because you know icebergs are very, very, very extremely large.
Yes,
Yeah.
extremely
Okay,
large. Yeah.
extremely large. Very nice. So iceberg, a large mass of ice floating, floating?
Yeah, in the sea.
Swimming on the
Floating.
water. Okay, right. Number 2, Mr. Mazin.
Yes. Number 2, lifeboat. So this word, it consists of 2 words, life
Yes,
and boat.
life and
boat.
Yeah.
So the boat that keeps you alive, a small boat to save people on board if the ship sinks.
Yes, exactly.
But Mr. Karim, we have to mention
Yes.
something. The students should remember that the question in the exam will not be like this. It will be multiple choice.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Multiple choice.
Actually, 3 days ago, my dear students, or 4 days ago, we had, a session. We discussed unit number 5, I remember. We talked about a little bit about the examination, the final exam. And I said that in the final exam, we have, multi-choices questions.
Yeah.
Means we have a question here.
And
Okay.
yeah.
Then we have four
Four
options
choices.
Yes.
to choose the correct,
Correct one.
out of these four.
Yes.
Good. Yes, exactly. Mr. Mustafa, we have a verb now, which is to sink.
Number 3, yeah.
Yeah.
To
What do you
sink-
mean by to sink?
To sink means to go down. To
Ah,
go
to
down.
sink means in the water.
Yeah.
To go,
go
down,
down.
under the
Under
water.
the water,
So
under the surface of the water.
Titanic sank in
Sank.
the water.
Yes.
Means
Went down.
down in the water of the Atlantic Ocean. Very nice. Survivor, Mr. Mazin.
Yes. Survivor, it's a noun. A person who continues to live after danger.
Yes. What is the verb of survivor?
Survive.
Survive.
Yes,
Survive means to live after
yes.
danger.
Or stay alive after
Or
To
danger.
stay
stay alive after you are exposed to danger.
Yes.
Very nice. So survivor means a person who continues to live after danger.
Yes.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Actually, here also we have another activity about this passage or text, which is about the Titanic ship. Here we have complete the statements with the following words.
Yeah.
Mr. Mustafa,
Yes.
read the words first, please. Then after that, do number 1.
Yes. The words are tragedy, steamship,
Yes.
hit, largest,
Yes.
believed.
Believe. Good. Number 1.
Number 1, yes. The Titanic was the largest
Yes.
ship that had ever traveled on the sea.
Yes.
Number 1.
The Titanic was
The largest.
the largest. So the largest is, or the word largest is the required word, or the word to fill
Number 1.
in the gap. Good. Number 1. Number 2.
Yes. The steamship company
Yes.
had thought that its ship would be completely safe in all situation, in all conditions.
in all circumstances,
Yes.
in all conditions. So we say here, now we repeat again, the steamship.
Yes.
Steamship company
Yes.
had thought that its ship would be completely safe in all situations. Good. 3.
Number 3, yes. The ship hit the iceberg
Yes.
late at night.
Good. The ship
Hit.
hit the iceberg late
at
at
night.
night. So when the accident happened or took place,
Yes, it was
it
dark.
was
Dark.
late at
Yeah.
night.
It was dark, yeah.
Maybe after midnight, maybe we don't know exactly. Good. Number 4.
Yes, nobody had, and you know, this is after had we have verb, the past participle, which is
Yes.
believed.
Believed.
Nobody had believed that Titanic could sink
Yes.
or would sink.
Yes, yes. Nobody had believed.
Yes.
Good.
Number
Right,
5
number
now.
5.
A tragedy like the sinking of the Titanic should never happen again.
Yes.
A tragedy.
So, because actually this is tragedy.
yeah.
You know tragedy?
Yes.
Tragedy is the opposite of what?
Comedy.
Of
Comedy.
comedy.
Yeah.
Yes.
With comedy, we
laugh.
laugh.
Yes.
Yes,
And,
We feel excited.
Yeah.
We feel happy.
and the
Yeah.
end is just very good, very
Yes,
nice.
very
Yes.
nice, okay?
Yes.
While when we talk about tragedy,
Tragedy.
we are talking about a disaster,
Catastrophe.
a catastrophe or disaster.
A sad,
in-
yes, we can say a sad event.
Yes, a
Sad
very
event.
sad
Sad
event.
event.
Yes, exactly. Thank you very much. Mr. Mustafa, Mr. Mazin, we come to the end of discussing, you know, the text, which is about the Titanic,
Yeah.
and you know the title very well, critical moments. So now we move to grammar.
Grammar. Yeah.
You know, grammar, in this grammar or in the this unit, we are going to discuss past
Past perfect.
perfect.
Yeah.
You know, past perfect, one of the past tenses in English.
Yes.
Of course.
Actually, Mr. Mustafa, Mr. Mazin, before we start talking about, you know, past perfect, I'd like to pay our students attention and have a quick revision of the past tenses. You remember, dear students, about 3 or 4 days ago, we were in a seminar, in a session like this, and we talked about past simple and past continuous. Today, we will talk about past perfect. But before we go into details of the past perfect, let me first just give you 3 examples in order to clarify, to make it easy to understand the past tenses.
Yeah.
The first example is, when I arrived home, my mother cooked. When I arrived home, my mother cooked. Mr. Mustafa, what is now here the sequence of events? Which happened first and which happened next? Actually, here we are not talking about which happened before the other, and no. But when I arrived home, my mother cooked.
Yes.
So she started cooking
before.
after I arrived. I arrived home, then she cooked. She started cooking. When I arrived home, she cooked. She went to the kitchen and cooked. When we come to the second example, which is when I arrived home, my mother was cooking.
Cooking, yeah.
Was
Cooking.
cooking. It means here, dear students, that my mother started cooking before I arrived home, but she did not finish yet. Right? When I arrived, my mother was in the
cooking.
kitchen and she was cooking.
She was still cooking.
She was still cooking, yes, right. The last one, which is when I arrived home, my mother had cooked. Here is the topic of unit number 7,
Yeah.
the grammar of
Yeah.
unit 7,
Yeah.
which is when I arrived, my mother had cooked. What do we understand now here? Did my mother cook before I arrived? Did she finish before I arrived or after I arrived? This is what we are going to
talk
discuss
about.
in, in the grammar of unit number 7. Actually, this is called past perfect. So, Mr. Mustafa, past perfect, now the floor is yours
Yeah.
to talk about the form of past perfect.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Let's talk about the form.
Yes.
Of course, the form, the sentence begins with a subject.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Plus had
Had.
plus the past participle, or we can say verb 3.
Mhm.
Okay? This is the form.
Yes.
Is formed with a subject
Yes.
plus had
Mhm.
plus past participle or verb 3.
Verb 3. Yes.
The positive now state. The positive case.
Good.
A sentence. My mother had cooked when I arrived home.
Yes.
My mother had cooked
Yes.
when I arrived home. The negative. My mother hadn't cooked when I arrived home.
Yes. So what
Question.
do we understand here? My mother had cooked.
Cooked.
I have just mentioned this.
Yeah.
But now we repeat it again.
Yes, of
because
course.
here it is written in red. My mother had cooked. It is written in red here. So it means here that my mother started and finished cooking,
before
I arrived home.
home.
Good.
Yeah.
The negative now.
Yes. The negative. My mother hadn't
Yes.
cooked
Cooked.
when I arrived home.
Good. This is in the negative.
Negative.
What about
The
the question?
question. Had your mother cooked when you arrived home?
Good. Had your mother. Here we
Cooked.
have an auxiliary verb,
Yes, auxiliary. Yeah.
which
had.
is had. So
we put it, yes, at the
Yes,
beginning
we-
of the sentence.
exactly at the beginning of the sentence. This is actually about the
The
form,
form.
Mr. Mazen.
Yes.
It's your turn now to talk about the use of past perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yes. The use of past perfect, we should first of all know a fact
Yes.
that we usually have two sentences when we are just talking about the past perfect.
We have two actions.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, two
Well,
actions,
Yes.
two events.
Two
Yes,
events.
two events.
So we use the past perfect to show which of two events happened or two action happened first.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You know.
So we have two actions.
But one of them
Yes.
happened
Happened
before
before.
the other one.
Yeah.
Before the other. So we
Yes.
have two actions,
Yes.
as in the example here.
Yes.
My mother had cooked when I arrived home. My mother had cooked. We have the action of cooking, and we have the action of arriving.
Yeah.
So here now, which one, took a place or happened before the other?
So first my mother cooked and then the second one is I arrived home.
So we understand that when we have a verb or an action used with had,
Yes.
we immediately know
That this
that
is
it
happened
happened
First.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Good.
Example,
Example.
Karen had already left by the time Sally got there. So first
Yes.
Karen had left, then Sally got there. So it means that Sally did not see Karen.
Yes. Karen had already left by the time.
Yes.
By the time. By the time.
Yes.
Now, this expression or this phrase, when we see it in the sentence, we immediately know
That
that the tense is past
perfect.
perfect.
So usually after by the time simple past and
Yes.
before by
Yes.
the time past
The second
perfect.
part, yeah.
Exactly. So by the time. By the time means before. Shortly before. Before Karen, had, or before Karen had left, Sally got there.
Or we can
There.
say when.
Number
Yes.
It means when, by the time.
When or no, by the time
By the
means
time.
you know, shortly before.
Before, yes.
Shortly before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not a long time before. Yes, please.
Number B.
B.
After the guests had left,
Mm.
I went to bed. So first the guests left,
Yes.
and then I went to bed.
Good.
So also here, when we see after, we usually know that this is the first event.
Yes.
Number C.
Yes.
I had arrived at the station before the train left. So the train, I had arrived. So first I arrived, and then the train left.
Yes.
So I did not miss the train.
Good.
So, and we have to notice we have to mention that in English, Mr. Karim, we can use in the two clauses, we can use the simple past, because it's clear when we have after and before. Example, after the guests left, I went to bed, or after the guests had left, I went to bed.
Yes.
C, I arrived at the station before the train left, or I had arrived at the station before the train left. Both are correct.
Yes, exactly. Here we have sequence of actions.
Yes.
Yeah. Sequence, yeah.
Sequence. Here it is not necessary to say I had played football, then went to school, then had lunch. No, we don't need that actually. Here when we have sequence of actions, it is enough to
Yeah.
use past simple. So
Yes.
here we can use I had arrived the station before, or I arrived the station before the train left. So actually both are
Correct.
correct.
Yes.
Very nice. Thank you. Yes. We have an activity, Mr. Mustafa,
Yeah.
to clarify the idea of past perfect.
Yes, of course.
Okay? So here we are going to choose
Yeah.
the correct verb between
Brackets.
brackets.
Yes.
Would you please start number
Yes,
one?
of course.
Yes, please.
Number one, I, between brackets, of course, we have discussed and had discussed
Yes.
the matter with my teacher before I told my father. Of course,
Again,
the
please.
answer, I discuss,
Yes.
had discussed
Yes.
the matter
Mm.
with my teacher before I told my father.
Good.
Of course, the answer is I had discussed the matter
Mhm.
with my teacher before I told
Good.
my
How
father.
many actions do we have
Two
here? Mr.
actions.
Two actions.
Two actions.
Which are?
Two events.
Which are?
Discussing the matter
Good.
is the first one,
Yes.
okay?
Mhm.
And telling my father
Good.
is the second one.
Good. But discussing the matter with my teacher happened before
Yes,
telling my
yes,
father.
it's the first action,
Exactly.
the first
Ex-
event.
Exactly. Thank you. That's number two.
Yes, number two, the lesson had already began, has already began when we arrived.
Yes.
The answer is the lesson had already began when we arrived. So I missed the beginning of the lesson.
Yes.
So that first the lesson began, and then we arrived.
Yes.
It means we were late.
So it began before we
arrived.
So we missed some time
Some
of
time.
the lesson.
Yes.
Very nice. Good. Number three.
Number three, I have never seen snow until I went to Canada.
Yes.
Of course, the answer is I had never seen snow until I went to Canada.
Yes.
Okay?
So here I went to Canada happened in the past.
Yes.
But before that,
I had never seen.
I had never seen
Yes.
snow. I don't
Not
know
seeing,
snow
of
before.
course, not seeing
Yes.
snow before. Yeah.
Exactly. Number four.
Number four, by the time mom came or comes, I had prepared dinner. The answer, by the time mom came, I had prepared dinner. First, my mom prepared the dinner, and
Yes.
then I came home.
Yes. By the time mom came or comes, I had prepared
Yeah.
dinner
By the time. Yeah.
by the time.
Yes.
So here we have by the time. This is an indication, Mr. Mustafa.
Yeah, of course.
You know, to past perfect. So by the time mom came, I had prepared dinner. So here, I had prepared
Yes, preparing dinner.
So preparing dinner
Is
happened before my mother's coming.
Yes.
Or the coming of my mother.
Yeah.
Very nice. So, this is an activity or an exercise about past perfect. We have another one, Mr. Mustafa.
Yes.
Now we are going to change the form of the verbs, in a brackets, so that the sentences are correct
Yeah.
in past perfect or past simple.
Yes, of course.
Yes, please, number one.
Okay, now the rubric.
Yes.
Write the correct form of the verbs between the brackets.
Yes.
Number one, I feel a little better after I take the medicine.
Yes.
Of course, here it will be I felt a little better
Yes.
after I had taken the medicine.
Yes. Which action happened first here?
Of course, taking the medicine happened first.
Good.
Okay?
Yes.
Feeling a little better, of course, is the second.
Happened after
happened-
I took
Yes.
medicine or the medicine.
Yeah.
Very nice. Mr. Mazen?
She was late. The teacher gave already a taste when she get to class last Monday. The answer, she was late. The teacher had already given a taste when she got
Yes.
to class last Monday.
Very nice. Which happened first here?
The first one, the teacher gave a taste, and then she got to class.
Very nice. So we can say that she was late. Because
Yes.
of that, she
Yes.
was late. So here, give is an irregular verb.
Yeah.
The past and past participle are different.
Yeah.
We say give, gave,
Given.
given.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
given is the past participle
Nice, nice.
also. Good. Number three.
Maram
Yes.
be
Yes.
a newspaper reporter before she become an ambassador. Maram had been a newspaper reporter before
So
she...
here between brackets we have be.
Be, yes, verb to be.
Good.
And of course, the past perfect had been.
Good. The
Yeah.
past perfect of be
Of course,
been.
had been.
been. Good.
A newspaper reporter before she became an ambassador.
Yes. An ambassador. Good.
Yeah.
So she had been a newspaper reporter before she became. So she worked as a reporter
Yeah, before she...
became an ambassador.
Ambassador.
Very nice. Good.
Ambassador.
Number four.
Yeah.
Number four, it was raining heavily, but by the time class be over, the rain stopped. The answer, it was raining heavily, but by the time class was over,
Yes.
the rain had stopped.
Good.
So first the rain stopped, and then the class finished.
Good. Very nice. So here the past of be is was, and the past perfect of stop
Is had
had
stopped.
stopped.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr.
Yes,
Karim,
please.
please now I'd like to add something
Yes.
about number three, ambassador.
Yes.
I think some students don't know the meaning.
Yes,
okay?
ambassador.
Ambassador.
What do you mean by that? Yes,
Yeah.
Very nice, Mr. Mustafa.
Ambassador means the main official, okay? Who represents now his country in another country.
In another
Abroad.
Country.
abroad.
Abroad,
Very
yes.
nice. Good.
Yes,
So we have ambassadors,
yes.
Syrian ambassadors.
Yeah,
in
of course, in different countries in the
Different
world.
So
countries.
each one of them represents
Yes,
the
represents.
government,
Yes,
the
of course.
Syrian government,
Represents
or
his
the
country.
Syrian country.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Mustafa. Good. Number five.
It was raining heavily, but by the time class over,
No, number five, I think.
number four? No, number four.
Number five.
Number five.
Yes.
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs
Yes.
become extinct by the time humankind first appear.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Dinosaurs had become extinct by the time humankind first appeared.
Which happened first?
of course, the first one, becoming extinct,
Yeah,
happened
becoming
first.
extinct.
Yes,
Happened
happened first.
first,
Yes.
then
Appearing.
the humankind
Of
or
course.
mankind.
The appearing of a humankind.
Yes,
Yes.
very nice. Number 6.
Yes, they never see any of the painting before they visit the art museum yesterday. The answer, they had never seen any of the paintings before they visited the art museum. So
Yes.
first, the first action, the first event, they had never seen any paintings.
Yes.
Yes, and then they visited the art museum.
Yes. So they never had, or they had never seen any of his paintings before they visited
Yes.
the art museum yesterday.
Yes.
So here we have actually a state
Yeah.
which is not seeing.
Yeah.
This state was before visiting the museum. So here, because of that, we put this state in past perfect,
Yeah.
which is had never seen
Yeah.
any of his paintings before they visited the art museum yesterday. Thank you very much. Actually, this is everything about grammar, my dear students, my dear colleagues. We talked, I think, in details about past perfect. I hope that the idea is very clear now and very simple. After grammar, my dear colleagues here in the studio, we come to talk about pronunciation.
Yeah.
You know, pronunciation, Mr. Mustafa,
Yeah.
is a very important part
Yes, of course.
of learning English.
Yes, of course.
Learning any language. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when we want to learn English, we must learn pronunciation.
Yeah, we must control.
Yes, we must control, we must, learn it well,
Yes.
so that we have good accent, good pronunciation.
Pronunciation, yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Of course, we can't be like British, exactly
Of
like
course not.
British, but we try to be as much
Yeah,
as
we
possible
Yes, of course.
Okay.
We do our best.
to do our best, exactly. Mr. Mustafa, we have, Mr. Mazen, we have,
Yes.
In phonetics,
Yeah.
we have what we call sounds and we have diphthongs,
Yeah.
vowel sounds
Yeah.
and vowel
Diphthong, yeah.
and diphthongs.
Yeah.
When we talk about vowel sounds, we talk about single sounds.
Yes.
I say, for example, but,
Yeah.
or father,
Father. Yeah.
This is a single sound.
Yes.
It's called vowel sound.
Yeah.
But we have something maybe different from this,
Yes, of course.
which is called diphthongs.
Diphthong. Yeah.
Yes.
Diphthongs, we can say that it is a combination of two sounds.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I
it's a
say, for
sound.
example, I,
Yes.
so here we have two sounds, then I. This is called a
Diphthong.
diphthong.
Yeah.
When I say, for example, A,
Yes.
also, this is a diphthong.
Yes.
So here we must differentiate, dear students, between vowel sounds and diphthongs. Here in Unit 7, we have the diphthong
Diphthong.
A.
Diphthong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now here we have some examples of the diphthong A. In some words, we have 8 words. Would you please, Mr. Mustafa, read the words here?
Yeah, but of course, before now, let me now define this word, diphthong.
Diphthong, yes.
Diphthong is a sound made by two vowels.
Yes.
By two vowels, okay?
Yes.
Which are said together.
Yes,
Said together.
exactly.
Okay, two vowels.
It is a combination of two sounds
Sound.
or vowel sounds.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good.
Examples: feel,
Yes.
bake, wait, wait. The same
Yes.
pronunciation.
Yeah, the
Here,
same
wait.
pronunciation.
Homophone.
Yes.
Yes.
The same
yes,
pronunciation.
Exactly.
Sake, sane, cape, wake.
Wake. Good. So fail, bake, wait, wait,
Yeah.
sake, sane, cape, and wake.
Wake.
Very nice. Good. So here we have fail, fail, a,
Yeah.
Yes.
bake, a.
Yeah.
Then we have wait,
Nail.
wait.
Yes, of
okay.
course.
Wait.
We have many examples.
Wake.
Yeah.
A. So here we have the diphthong A.
A. Yeah.
A. Very nice.
So, Mr. Karim,
Yes, please.
here the diphthongs A may be represented by different vowel. Number one, fail, just the A
Two
and
vowels,
two
yeah.
vowel A and I.
Yeah.
Yes.
The second one, the first A and the
last
the
one.
last E.
E. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. So here we have, yes, exactly. It is very important
Yes.
that we don't have the same, the same, we say, order of
Yes.
letters
Yes.
to have A.
Yes.
Right example.
Yes.
So here we have fail, bake. So we find here that fail, F-A-I-L,
Feel. Yeah.
fail.
Yes.
While in the second word, bake,
Bake.
we have B,
A
A,
and
K, and
E.
E. So we have bake.
Yes.
Here, A-I are pronounced A.
Of course.
Here, A alone is pronounced as A. Of
course.
Very nice.
So-
here we have
Yes.
AI the same. Here, A,
K.
the
Yes.
same.
K.
So,
Yes,
Mr. Karim, for this reason, we advise parents, teachers,
Yes.
to teach the student words, not the letters or the alphabet, because the letter is something and the pronunciation
Yes.
is something else.
Good.
The sound.
Good. Here,
Yes.
the sound is something,
Yes.
and the letter is
It's something
else.
else.
So we have, for example, the sound, or sorry, the letter A.
Yes.
A, B, C, D, A.
Yes.
This is a letter.
Yeah.
But this letter, the sound in this letter
Is
is changed from word,
word
to another.
to another.
Yes.
That's
Sometimes
exactly.
it is when I say about,
Yes.
it is the letter A, but the sound of this letter is different.
Yes.
Like in Arabic. In Arabic also we have alif, ba, ta, tha. So alif in Arabic is ah. Okay, is ah, as we pronounce it, as we say it. So we have B and B. B is the letter and B is the sound of the letter. C is a letter and K is the sound of the letter, or maybe C. Also, we have G is the letter and we might say G.
Or
So
G.
the sound, or G also. So we have, some differences between the letters, or not some. We have all differences between, the letters
And the sounds.
and the sounds.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes.
Thank you. We have now an example,
Yeah.
or some examples, an exercise about pronunciation,
Yes.
which is about, the diphthong
Diphthong.
A.
Yeah.
Yes, please, Mr. Mustafa.
Yes.
Let's start with you.
Choose the correct answer. Which of these words has the diphthong A?
A.
Number one. Rag,
Rag.
truck, day, track. Number C, of course, day.
So the word C, which is day.
Yes.
A.
Yes.
Day. Not the truck, not rag,
Rag,
not track.
track.
No.
Yeah.
Day. Good. Number two.
Number two, shake, pet, ship, and bat.
Good.
So the the word shake has the diphthong A. Shake.
Yeah.
Shake.
Yes.
Good. Not bad.
Yes,
Not
shake.
sheep.
Yes.
Shake
Not
head.
bad.
Yes.
Good.
And shake
3.
hands. Yeah. Number 3. Now, father, snake, cat, hell. Of course, number
Yes.
B,
Yes.
snake.
Snake.
Yeah.
Snake.
Has the diphthong A.
Snake.
Snake. A.
Snake.
Yeah.
Good. So here we have snake. We have the diphthong
Yes.
A. Father is not. Cat is not.
Yeah.
Hell is not.
Of course.
Good. Number 4.
Number 4. Key, big, well, sail. So
Yes.
the word which has the diphthong is sail.
Yes.
Sail, not key, not big, not well. So this is very important, represent a question in the exam. This is a student to take into account because dear students, some students, they don't care about this part of the lesson, which
Yes.
is pronunciation.
Good.
But you will be asked about everything
Yes.
in the book.
In the final exam, dear students, you will be asked about the, the sounds, the diphthongs, or what we call in general pronunciation. So you will have questions in the final exam about pronunciation.
Yeah.
So please pay attention to this when you listen to your teachers in the classes or in the classroom. Please pay attention to that.
Nice.
It is very important. Very nice. Mr. Mustafa,
Okay.
Mr. Mazen, yes, please.
I'd like to add something about the slide number 9. Would you
Yes.
please now to go back to slide number 9?
Why not? Of course.
Slide
Yes.
number 9.
Yes. Yes.
In
Number 9.
sentence number 1 and number 2,
Yes.
sentence number 1 we have but. Okay?
Number
The
2.
Titanic,
Yes.
the Titanic was carrying 2,207 people, but, and in sentence number 2, many passengers, slide number 9, Mr. Karim.
Yes,
Slide
I
number
know.
9.
Yes.
Many passengers had not dressed warmly for.
Mm.
Now, here, both but and for are conjunctions,
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
Both of them now join two parts of the sentence.
Yes,
Okay?
exactly.
Now, not a preposition,
No.
not a preposition,
No, 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 no.
conjunction.
Yes, they
So-
are conjunctions.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Now, I think some students don't know
Yes.
now that they are conjunctions here.
Actually,
Now-
Mr. Mustafa, yes, you are very, very right. We are going to talk about now
Yeah.
because we will give our students, a simple idea
Yeah.
about how to write composition in the final exam. So we need actually to learn about these words, which are called conjunctions.
Okay, I'd like to add
Yes.
something
Yes,
else.
please.
Okay, in the second sentence, dressed, of
Yes.
course, is a regular verb.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
now it ends in ed,
Exactly.
and here we pronounce ed. We pronounce it t or t.
Good.
Yeah,
Yes.
Dressed.
ed because it ends in the s sound.
Good.
S sound.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. What do we call sounds like s, sh,
Yes.
k, t?
Yes.
What do we call these sounds?
Voiced.
Voiced.
Voiceless
Voiceless and voiced.
sounds.
Okay.
Voiceless sounds.
Yeah.
Good. So, dear students, dear colleagues, as Mr. Mustafa paid my attention to this, I'd like also to pay your attention to that when we have, for example, a verb like dress. This is a verb, and the past of dress and the past participle of dress is dressed.
Yeah.
Dressed. Here we add ed because the verb is regular.
Regular. Yeah.
But the ed is said, is pronounced as t,
Yeah.
not
T. T.
dressed.
No.
No, we say dressed, dressed.
Yeah.
Here. Why? Because when we have the end, or when the end is a sound or belong to a specific group of sounds, like sh, s, k. These sounds, if we put our fingers on our Adam's apple here and say s, sh, here we don't have vibration in the vocal cords.
Yeah.
We don't have vibration.
Yeah.
So because of that, when we add ed at the end of the verb, this ed is said t. When I say, for example, dress, dressed. Not the dressed.
Watch.
No.
Watch, watch
Watch,
it.
watched.
Yeah.
Stop.
Not watch it.
Yes.
No.
Stop.
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 Stopped. Because
Yeah.
p.
Yes.
When I say p here, it doesn't cause vibration
Yeah.
in the vocal cords. So this sound is called
Voice.
voiceless sound. Voiceless sound.
Yeah.
While when we have the other group of sounds, which are called voiced sounds, when I say, for example, z, z,
Yes.
here we have vibration in the vocal cords.
Yeah.
When I say b, b, also we have vibration in the vocal cords.
Yes.
When I say j, 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 also we have vibration in the vocal cords. So here we are, or we call these sounds or these letters or sounds as voiced. So voiced, which cause vibration in the
Of the
vocal
vocal
cords.
cords, yeah.
Voiceless, they don't cause
Vibrate.
the vocal cords.
Or
This is
vibration.
actually the difference between these two types of sounds. Very nice. I'd like really to
Time's-
thank you,
Ti-
Mr.
time-
Mustafa.
Time's over, I think.
Yes, okay, time is over now. We come to the end, dear students, dear colleagues. I hope you benefited from this session with my dear colleagues, Mr. Mustafa Salami. Thank you very, very much for coming from Hama.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Mazin Abdel Karim, an English teacher from Damascus Directorate or Damascus Countryside Directorate. Thank you so much for
you very much.
participating
Many
in
thanks.
this seminar.
Many thanks for you. Many
Thank you
thanks.
so much. Dear students, dear colleagues, in the end, this is Karim Qassabi greeting you from the Syrian Educational Channel in Damascus. Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you so much.